Hello, happy Monday. I certainly hope you all have been well rested and you're ready to get started on a brand new project. We will be talking about color theory. And color theory is something that I always do, but I've never done it this way. So it's my first time. And I may, make some mistakes. And so I hope you forgive me. We're doing the best we can with what we've been allotted. And so the color wheel, I have an overview of the assignment that's going to be your final big assignment, and it's worth 100 points. And we're going to learn some color wheel philosophy before we get started on that. And before we do that, you have some, homework, some explaining to do that I asked you to do Friday before we left. So this week you will need a black pen, color pencils, and sharpener, and 4 circles. I would also say that you need a ruler or a straight edge. Ruler or straight edge. Color pencils, pencil sharpener. Sorry, I can barely breathe in this. Pencil sharpener and 4 circles, various sizes. Okay, so I'm gonna go over what everything looks like. Here is a black pen. You could use a fine tip Sharpie as well. I don't ever know which camera we're looking at. Okay, this one here. I'm gonna see if I can turn on my special camera. So let me see if I can get this up and running, and then you'll really see what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can get this bad boy working. Here we go. So here I have a Sharpie fine tip pen you could use. You could use a regular pen that's black. If you have the Sharpie, this is like the best thing to have. But if you don't, a regular fine tip black pen is fine. Okay, so you're going to need to gather that because you're going to have to show me your materials. You're going to take a picture of it today for 20 points. Another thing that it says, and I gave you visuals, the color pencil is a pencil sharpener, is that you're going to need bowls of different sizes. So this is really important. Right here it says 1 large cereal bowl, 5 to 6 inches, or CD. So here's a CD. That's a pretty good size. If you want to do something a little bit larger than that, that's fine. Or you could use a cereal bowl. Okay, 5 to 6 inches is preferred. So even larger than this would be better actually. Because if I got a ruler right now and I measured this, the diameter is 4.5. So it's not quite, it's actually almost exactly 5 inches. It's not too bad. But something like this or larger. Then you're going to need like a bottle cap size. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me turn off the light. That's better. A bottle cap. So we're going to make like a bullseye. And then you're going to need some in-between sizes. I found this like plastic cup, and that's a good in-between size. And then the bottom circle here is small. So those are good in-between sizes. You could also use like a sauce container, and that has 2 different size circles too. So you're going to need to gather these up. And color pencils. You got to have the color pencils. I offered these to you. They were in the front office. Or you can get them at the dollar store or borrow them from your little sister. I don't care. But this is the materials you need. So you got to gather them together. The bottle cap, the pen, or sharp fine tip Sharpie. And then I want you to take a picture of them, and you're going to get 20 points for that today. I created an assignment for it, and it's due at 7 p.m. today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reuse a post from last period to show you exactly what it is. And it says, photograph materials as proof you are ready for tomorrow. So here we go. 20 points, due date, today, 7 p.m. So I'm going to give you class time today to gather your materials, but I'm going to go over the presentation first. And then you'll have plenty of time to gather your materials for those 20 points due today later. Okay? So I just wanted that to be crystal clear to you. Now, this is the most important part right here is the 5 to 6 inch one. That seems to be the hardest one to find. And then you're going to photograph the supplies just like Miss Brown photographed hers. 20 points under assignments. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation. And sorry, Jose, that you're still muted and it's not working. But at least we tried. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We got lots to go over today. So here's a beautiful example of a mandala that you can create in any style you want. And we're going to learn about the different styles right now from different cultures. Everybody's is going to be very unique and different. Why is this not working? Oh my goodness. I guess I have to do it like this.
Number 1, how do the mandalas from the 3 cultures differ and how are they similar? Number 2, identify 3 parts of a mandala and explain their metaphorical meaning. Number 3, what do you see in your daily life that looks similar to a mandala? Number 4, if you were creating a mandala about yourself or a theme of your choice, what colors and shapes would you choose? Explain your choices. Mandalas in Native American, Buddhist, and Hindu culture. Mandalas are among the most ancient art forms made by humans. They are geometric designs intended to symbolize the universe from the human perspective. Here we can see mandalas in Native American, Hindu, and Buddhist cultures. You can see the geometric shapes are similar in the various mandalas, yet their stylistic choices are very different. Looking at mandalas in Native American culture, let's begin by understanding their religion a bit more closely. In fact, the concept of religion is not translatable in Native American languages because it's so deeply embedded into their perception of reality. Nature, animals, ancestors, and children yet to be born are all part of the spirit world interwoven with Native American culture. Death is perceived as a transition, not an ending. Traditions and beliefs were passed to younger generations through storytelling rather than written down. With this mandala on the left, what do you think it might represent? Possibly a spirit or an energy, something that looks happy to me. Mandalas. Circles represent the sun, the moon, and the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Everything the power of the world does is done in circles. When the quadrants of the 4 directions are nourished, they give us peace, warmth, rain, cold, strength, and endurance. Here you can see one of the mandalas and also its metaphorical interpretation, the meaning of the different colors, the directions. Here you can see more clearly what they represent, emotional needs, intellectual, spiritual, different elements, different seasons. So these are indeed very metaphorical symbols. Dream catchers. Originating in Ojibwa and Lakota legends, the dream catchers offer the sleeper protection from nightmares. The hoops represent the wheel of life. The web would catch the dreams, while feathers were ladders for the dreams to enter the catcher. Gemstones, arrowheads, and beads would increase protection. Medicine wheel. Medicine wheels or sacred hoops are symbols of peace and harmony with the earth and all living beings. Its four cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, the elements air, water, fire, earth, as well as connecting Mother Earth with Father Sky, and the center represents us and how we connect to all these elements. Now we'll take a look at Buddhist culture and mandalas. A map of Buddhism. This map you can see how Buddhism is spread throughout Asia. The Buddhist teachings were mostly spread along the Silk routes of Asia and preserved by royal families, the general population, and later monasteries. Today, interest in Buddhism has come to the West, along with an interest in yoga and meditation. Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths. So here's some basic Buddhist teachings. There is suffering. Suffering is common to all. Number 2, we are the cause of suffering. Number 3, to end suffering, stop doing what causes suffering. Number 4, everyone can reach enlightenment, the end of suffering. The Buddhists believe in karma, or the law of cause and effect. What one does to others will eventually come back to oneself. This theory is more easily understood when the practitioner believes in reincarnation or death, that following death there will be another rebirth according to one's karma. Buddha's life. The Buddha was born to a Hindu royal family in India in 500 BC. Before his birth, a wise man told his mother that if her son left the palace and saw the world, he would change it completely. He escaped from the palace in his mid-20s and witnessed sickness, suffering, and death. He realized he could not be happy while others suffered, and he renounced his life as prince and lived as a beggar and a yogi until he reached enlightenment at the age of 35. Upon his enlightenment, he saw his past lives and the past lives of all other beings. He spread his teachings until his death at 85 years of age. Philosophy. Unlike most religions, Buddhism is not primarily a faith-based religion. The Buddha said, believe the teachings not because the Buddha told them, but because they are your experience. He also said that if science should ever prove anything other than his teachings, to believe in science. Meditation and learning from a realized teacher are essential aspects of Buddhism. The three realms. The highest truth in Buddhism is that subject, object, and action are all part of the same totality, meaning that the perception of ourselves and others as being separate and distinct is false or ignorant. Meditation, the contemplation of truth, to be at peace in one's heart, similar to prayer and other religions. Mandala meaning. The circles are endless and connectivity of all things. The squares represent the start, stop, birth to death, past, present, future nature of our apparent reality. Each quadrant is a metaphor for human perception on the physical and metaphysical level. For example, the blue quadrant represents the color blue, the direction of peace, the perception of consciousness, the element of water, the temperature of cool, the primary function of thinking, and anger is the main way of suffering for that particular quadrant. Sand mandalas. Sand mandalas are often created in a ritual process. They go on for days. Afterward, they are destroyed as a fundamental teaching of impermanence.
Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the next. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. The next slide. So what is a mandala? We're just going to kind of watch this artist create a mandala to get you kind of excited on how to do pageantry and how to recreate using shapes and colors that are very symbolic. A mandala is a symmetrical round design that originates in Asian cultures mainly. Mandalas are heavy in pattern and can be as complex as the artist wants them to be. So we're going to just watch this for a little while. She's using different circles to trace just like we are. And we'll work up to this. And it's just the repetition of pattern. You do equally on one side to another, and it builds upon itself with different doodles and designs. So you can kind of start thinking about that now and playing and practicing. She's super intense. Yours, I don't expect to be this big. We're just working on a piece of paper. And if you need more paper, if you need a black pen, if you need colored pencils, pencil sharpener, or ruler, it's all up at the front office or in the classroom. Or if you already have them, great. Steal them from your little brother or sister or ask a neighbor. Whatever you want to do, you're going to need to photograph it today. But as you can see, she's repeating over and over. She's finding cool round shapes to trace from little sauce bowls or soda cap, coffee mug. And that repetition creates these really cool patterns and designs. I'm going to speed it up in a little bit, but I just wanted you to see how she continues the repetition and doodles and then just changes it up and repeats that. It's quite hypnotic and fantasy-like. Pattern tree is a big aspect of art, along with color and shape and symbolism. It looks like she's creating a flower, a very yogi style. And then she's going back in after she did all the black with different colors. We're going to be using all the colors of the color wheel, which is like the rainbow. And we're going to learn about color theory. I want to find some music like this that we can listen to while we work. I might make a gigantic one. I haven't decided yet. This is my first time teaching this lesson, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. It's really hard to teach color theory remotely. We can't paint. But colored pencils are an awful lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and start fast forwarding this bad boy. Let's see where she goes from there. Ooh. So these are all cool colors, violets, blues, and greens. And then she starts to add more of the warm colors, orange. She's spreading it throughout. She's spending a lot of time on this. I can't wait to see how these turn out. I think it's going to really be neat. Okay. Now I got to figure out how to change the slide. All right, so this is your next project. Now that you know how to mix colors, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I'm giving you an overview so you can really see the big picture of what's leading up to what. But anyways, we're going to be mixing colors, and you guys are going to be recreating the color wheel, incorporating the 12 main colors of the color wheel. And mainly it's all going to be patterns and designs. So you get to come up with the designs. If there's, maybe you want to use the Nike logo kind of style or a wave or leaves or shapes, start looking around, start playing and practicing and thinking about that. We are going to need to trace a 5 or 6 inch circle. Like I showed you, the CD was almost 5 inches. If you want something bigger and badder, you got to find it, got to look for it, like a cereal bowl. And then we will be measuring the diameter. You need at least like a ruler or a straight edge. That we can make it work. But it's always nice if you can get your hands on a ruler. A straight edge is like the edge of a book or something that you know is very straight, so you can do precise lines with it, because we're going to have to divide this into 12 segments like a piece of pie, okay? And then we're going to label and color We're going to use those different circles to recreate these shapes. And then you're going to start building your mandala from there. And I'll walk you through this step by step, and everyone's is going to be different and unique to you. You're going to make your own style. That's my hope, my dream. And then it's going to continue from here. And then we'll start shading with it to make it look dimensional. And here's a few student examples. My girlfriend, who's an art teacher, she gave me this assignment because I'm like, I can't do color theory with paints this year. It's too challenging. And so this is what she did with her students remotely. And so she was kind enough to share this with me. And you can see the people that do a full value range, look at how trippy that looks compared to the person that didn't use lights, mediums, and darks as much. I mean, they use some shadowing along the edges here, and we can talk about that later. Here's some other student examples. Some more student examples. Now this one you can see is more that Indian pattern tree. So you can pick whatever culture or made believe in your mind. We talked about a few different cultures and types of mandalas. Here's some more. What is this? I recognize that. What is that? I think it's a Pokemon ball. Yeah. And then these look like little squids or mushrooms. I don't know what that is. Look at this one. Wow. So you can, get your personality put into this. So I hope you're excited about it. There's different levels. I mean, granted, some of you are freshmen. And I mean, I have a freshman in this class that I'm going to be blown away by, I'm sure. And then we have the seniors. You're all at different levels, and we're going to get different levels of art pieces as long as you're fulfilling the requirements and you're making the effort. That's what I care about. I want you to get a great grade on this. This will be worth 100 points, so we'll lead up to this. So what I want from you now is to start that scavenger hunt, gathering your materials together. These are all the things that you need. I even broke down the circle sizes. Put them together and then take a photograph of it, just like I did with here. I can't wait to see. So I know that you're ready tomorrow and we're not wasting time. And that's worth 20 points today. It's due at 7 p.m. Any questions for me about this? Okay, I don't read minds. If you have a problem, let me know. If you need something, most of the things I told you are at the front office. You can go pick them up today. They close, I think, at 4 p.m. If you're live in the classroom tomorrow, I can help you out as well. I helped students already in class today that needed a few things. All right, I'm going to just give you class time to gather your materials and photograph for 20 points. I'm going to stop the video.